Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. You know, the kinds of things that I'm hearing that's going on in Texas, it really brings a lot of pain to my heart, to my spirit. I think about if we, the people of this country, cared about one another, the hurricanes and the storms, and even this one in Texas, and this bad weather, different weather that's traveling all over this country in strange places, causing all kind of damage. Had we been the kind of people who cared about one another, who lived our lives within a system that promoted life amongst we the people, we would have considered these dangers, these possibilities that do occur, natural disasters whatsoever. And we would have prepared ourselves for them. And if we are resilient and can recognize our shortcomings from yesterday, from the past, and decide that we want to go forward, to be able to not just sit back on our lawns like we have in the past and continue the what we call the norm, but go beyond that and do what we didn't do then. Actually, start caring about one another. And this is the reason we talk about a new beginning. We're talking about a new system that is promoting life for everybody, recognizing that life denied anyone is the beginning of, if it's just one, it's the beginning of the denial of life for all of us. Might take a long time, but ultimately it will get there. And to stop it, we must change. And if we must change, let's change right away. As soon as we recognize change is needed. And so that's what we're considering, ladies and gentlemen. See, when we talk about putting people back to work, one of the main ingredients for the reservoir of goods and services overflowing to the extent that everybody can access the basic essentials for survival, whether it's food, clothing, shelter, education, health care. This career gives them ownership, part ownership in everything that happens. And so when things like this happen in Texas where people are being displaced, they don't have to worry about anything as long as they can get out. And reservations would have been made to eradicate them, take them, evacuate them for a better term, out of that community, bring them to a new, different community where they have to suffer nothing. They got places to live, they got food, clothing, and shelter, though they were at home. And whatever is accessible to anyone anywhere is now still accessible to them because we have prepared for it that way as a result of we, the people, caring about one another, looking out for one another, not greedy, not willing to do anything to lie, to cheat, to steal, to deceive, to divide, to conquer, and own stuff and say we are somebody because we were able to do this. We were big and bold enough to cause pain and suffering on others. They wouldn't do it. They weren't strong. They were weak, but we were strong because we dared and we did it. And now it's ours, and nobody's going to take it back from us. When the truth of it is the creator's stuff, and it exists for the benefit of all of us. If we accept it that way, we do have choice. In order for us to, for all of us, we have to really care about one another, and that's the way it's designed for peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life. That's the way it was planned. And outside of that, which they call obeying another master, or following another system, or being what people used to say, committing adultery. They always want to say committing adultery is like a man cheating on his wife or a wife cheating on her husband. They always want to say that because they know what that means. People don't like that stuff. But the message isn't just about that. It's talking about the two systems, the systems of righteousness and the system of unrighteousness. So if you're walking around claiming the system of righteousness, but you're uh, committing evil with what? The system of unrighteousness. Now, what does that mean? That means obeying two different masters, trying to. That means, like the way in America today, that means we go to church on Sunday and talk about this and that and talk about the world. Yet, at least 5 days of the week if we're lucky. We got a job promoting that system. That system responsible for paying our rent. That system responsible for paying whatever our bills might be. That system is responsible for putting food on our table or the lack thereof. And in its finished product, you got poverty, crime, and violence, and unprepared stuff like in Texas right now. They trying to save money. Like Donald Trump was, oh my God, was ready to go back to work even though they weren't prepared with this virus. Anything, just make the money. But in the righteous system, everything is about love and life. Everything you do is about love and life. Everything you do is about life. It is not about taking advantage of some situation for the benefit of a few. Man, oh man, oh man. Anyway, I just thought I'd make this statement in reference to the pain and suffering that our brothers and sisters in some of the other states are going through. It really bothers me, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure it bothers you just as well. We got friends and family and those that we know living in these other countries, in these other cities and towns and states, and even if we don't know them, we know it could easily be us at any given moment in time. So we have to wake up now. We don't have to continue. We already know that the game is not being played right. We know the system is designed to do exactly what it's doing. We know that in order for us to feel the realness of life, we're going to have to change our system and create a different system. We're going to have to do it, ladies and gentlemen. There's no ifs and ways around it. We're going to have to make a system that's designed not to do what we do today. We have to design a system, design the system for the people. We're going to have to design a system for the people where the people know it's for the people. We're not talking about what somebody else got an idea of and somebody's got these different ideas. No. We're talking about a system that works for everybody in certain areas, a system that works for everybody. And anything that would prevent that system from working would prevent the system from working. So now this is what this new beginning is about. So, listen to some of the videos and respond in kind to some of the situations that are being discussed. Give us your input. Let me hear what you think. And let's communicate with one another. Let's go back and forth about this situation. And realizing that our aim and our goal is to make sure that none of us suffer from any of those things that God has given and provided for us, that we would have to suffer no lack when it comes down to food, clothing, shelter, education, health care. And the way we provide for it is by having a career. Every last one of us that benefit, and that's every last one of us. Engage in the process of producing all the goodness that we, out of our minds, determine we want. And it's all for the sake of being available to any human being on the face of it that needs it, wants it, or desires it, and not one interest whatsoever in validating anything with money and making somebody superior to another. That just does not happen in God's world. All right.